Yo, Belka's Almond Monza Cardi B herself just got sucker punched by the universe in the most public way possible, and the receipts dropping right now are nuclear. The same chef everybody dismiss as a clout chaser just walked into the public square swinging text messages. Love you confessions and a fresh allegation that Stefon Diggs, that Diggs allegedly put hands on Cardi while she was pregnant. And Diggs really thought a Mother's Day cheek kiss in front of TMZ cameras was going to patch this over. Bro picked the worst possible week to play husband. Before we get into it, subscribe. Don't miss it now. Mila Adams, the living chef better known online as Chef Mila, went public on Instagram on November 18, 2025, accusing Stefon Diggs of abusing a pregnant Cardi during their relationship just days after Massachusetts jury acquitted him of assaulting her in his deed home. The post landed the same week Cardi was caught on TMZ camera yelling that Beast TCH is messy at Diggs outside a Maryland coffee shop on May 14, 2026. Diggs really thought hugging up at a Mother's Day charity event would erase a felony strangulation trial. Bro clearly didn't think this through. Now, let's look at the receipts that show why this whole thing is backfiring. Okay, y'all. Let me put the receipts on the table because this is where it gets wild. In her Instagram post on November 18, 2025, Mila Adams said directly to Cardi B, "You know exactly who he really is. He did it to you, too." When I read that, I had to do a double take. Is she serious going at the goat of female rap like that? Nah, brew. Then there's a court filing itself. According to documents obtained during the December 2024 strangulation case, Adams alleges that during a pay dispute over a month-old check, Diggs smacked me with an open hand, then choked me and threw me onto my bed. Bro said what? Over a paycheck? That's the dumbest way to catch a felony I've ever heard of. But here's where the text gets spicy. In the court filing, Diggs allegedly text-bombed her with, "I won't be paying you as asterisk followed by F asterisk. I look like paying you and paying another chef." When I read this, I was like, yo, this is a millionaire NFL receiver fighting with the help over a check. That's a move of somebody who's desperate. Now, this is the one that broke the internet. Chef Mila posted alleged screenshots on Boss at claiming Diggs offered her $100,000 to recant her assault claims after he was already acquitted. Hold up. Why are you offering hush money to somebody you supposedly never touched? Make it make sense, brew. And in her own Instagram reel posted around the trial, Adams admitted, "We started off as friends, then became sexual, and then I became his chef." That line right there, that's where this whole just an employee narrative falls apart. He hired the woman he was already smashing. That ain't a job interview. That's a situationship with salary. Finally, the resurfaced Vikings locker room clip. The one where teammates were asked who they wouldn't want dating their sister, as Diggs catching the majority vote, with his OWN teammates laughing. When I re-watched that, I was like, the writing was on the wall years ago. Now, let's connect the dots. Here's the timeline nobody's stitching together. That pay dispute. It happened in December 2024, 1 month after Cardi and Diggs welcomed their son in November 2025. So, while America was looking at baby photos, the chef was filing a police report. Brew really thought we wouldn't put those dates side by side. That coffee shop screaming match dropped 48 hours after the Mother's Day kiss on the cheek photo op, 2 days from look at our blended family to that Bass TCH is messy in less time than it takes Amazon to deliver a package. Diggs really thought a charity event would buy him a week apiece. That Instagram post from Mila went live the same afternoon Diggs walked out of the Dedham courthouse smiling. The verdict came down and within hours she was in Cards mentions. That's not coincidence. That's a woman who had the post drafted and ready waiting for the L. So, Diggs really thought beating the case meant beating the story. Terrible reading of the room. The business backdrop is even messier. Diggs lost Super Bowl 60 to Seattle, got dropped by the Patriots, and faced criminal charges, all within a few months. Then, Page 6 reported he had 4 children with 4 different women in 2025 alone, while Cardi was carrying number 5. Any smart man with 4 baby mamas in 1 calendar year would have gone underground. But Diggs, he showed up to a Mother's Day event, grinning. That's a move of somebody with no real advisors. And the layer most people are missing. The chef wasn't just cooking. According to her own reel, she was friends with Cardi. Texting her, even texting her after the charges dropped. That whole "we picked our Miami outfits together" energy with a woman she was allegedly sleeping with a boyfriend of, that's a calculated proximity move. So Diggs really had his side piece feeding his Manejo itinerary. That's a move of somebody who don't think 2 moves ahead. Now check this out. Nobody's talking about the language in that text exchange. The phrase paying another chef isn't a slip. That single word another implies Diggs already had a replacement lined up before the dispute, which means he wasn't firing Ma for performance. He was firing her because she was no longer needed in the rotation. That's not a labor dispute. That's a breakup disguised as HR. Zoom in on the alleged $100,000 offer, too. The specific number matters. 6 figures isn't go-away money for Chef. It's I'm scared of what you'll say money. If this was nothing, the offer should have been $5,000 in a non-disclosure. The size of the number tells you the size of the secret. And Diggs really didn't catch how that math reads in public. Embarrassing. Now, the cheek kiss at the Mother's Day event. That gesture cheek. Nut lips in a room full of cameras. Body language detectives would tell you straight up. A man who's truly in his bag with his woman doesn't do PR pecs. He does the real thing. That cheek kiss was a press release, not an act of love. And the coffee shop footage, peep, where Diggs is during the argument. He's seated while Cardi is standing and walking toward him. For a 6 feet 0 inches in NFL athlete, choosing to sit while your woman screams at the *TCH is messy at you in public. That's the body language of guilt. A man with nothing to hide stands up and engages. A man sitting low is a man trying not to escalate because he knows what's on the table. If Diggs had half a brain, he'd notice a camera's catch posture, not just words. One more layer. Adams's Instagram caption used the exact phrase, "He did it to you, too." The word "to" is the entire case. "To" is an admission that something happened to her presented as a fact. She didn't write, "He might have done it to you." She wrote "to." That's not a feeling. That's a woman who's done playing nice. And Diggs didn't have a single PR person flag that one word. That's a circus. Here's where the media starts taking sides. People magazine framed it as a clean win. Stefon Diggs' fate swiftly decided, leaning hard into the not guilty verdict. Notice the angle. Courtroom outcome. Full stop. They are treating the legal verdict as the end of the story. But TMZ flipped the entire narrative 2 days later by dropping that coffee shop footage with a hangry headline. They're framing the relationship is a story, not the verdict. Same week, totally different angle. US Magazine went even harder, running with the chef's allegations as a standalone headline. Ex-chef alleges he abused pregnant Cardi B. Their spin treats the chef's word as newsworthy on its own, not as a post-trial sour grape situation. That's a major editorial choice. And page 6, they've been quietly stacking the 4 babies in 1 year frame for months before all this hit. The angle isn't Cardi's man-quarter case. It's Cardi's been warning you all about him since January. Now, some Diggs fans are saying the chef's whole thing is capped because the jury acquitted him. But those are the same people who didn't notice the jury never ruled on whether anything happened to Cardi. Acquittal in Chef Mira's case doesn't erase that he did it to you too allegation. It's a completely different claim. Diggs defenders are reaching trying to use one verdict as a shield against unrelated accusations. The receipts don't lie. Even when the lawyers do their job, the mainstream narrative is real simple. Celebrity couple, messed boyfriend, scorned employee. We've seen it before. Page 6 wants it to be a baby mama story. TMZ wants it to be a relationship spat. People wants it to be a closed legal case. But here's what nobody is telling you all. This isn't about Diggs cheating. This is about the NFL's domestic violence cover-up culture meeting hip-hop standby or man tax. And Cardi B is a test case. Nobody asked her to be. Look, real talk. The NFL has a documented playbook for situations like this. Star player catches a domestic case. Team distances itself. Charges get whispered down. Jury acquits. And the player gets a fresh contract by next season. We've seen it with Ray Rice. We've seen it with Kareem Hunt. We've seen it with Tyreek Hill. Diggs is following that same flowchart move for move. The Patriots dropped him not because they believed the chef. They dropped him because losing the Super Bowl made him expendable. That's the industry telling on itself. Diggs is a puppet in a system that protects winners and discards losers. And right now is discarded. And here's a part that's going to make people mad. Cardi is being set up to take the cultural L either way. If she stays, Twitter calls her a pick-me who tolerates abuse for clout. If she leaves, the same Twitter calls her a baby mama statistic who couldn't keep a man. The same people who cheered when she said Bodak yellow money was hers are now treating her like she's stupid for trusting somebody. That's a misogyny tax on black female success. When you win big, the culture wants to what you lose bigger. Diggs is just a vehicle for that public humiliation. We've seen this exact play use against Halle Berry, against Mary J. Blige, against Whitney. Diggs is repeating the same mistakes. But the bigger pattern is a cult's appetite for watching a black woman in love get embarrassed. Now, here's where it gets even more uncomfortable. Chef Mila isn't just a victim or clout chaser. She's a symptom of a bigger industry problem. Athletes hiring women as chef's assistants and stylists who are functionally girlfriends with W2S is a worst-kept secret in pro sports. The text paying another chef gave the whole game away. She was on payroll because a relationship had a payroll structure. That's not love. That's labor laundering. And every athlete watching this case is sweating because they all run the same operation. Diggs got caught running the league's most common scam. And the only reason it became public is because Cardi's fame turned the floodlights on. Without Cardi attached, this is a Barrett civil suit. With Cardi attached, it's a national conversation and the cultural impact. This is a moment hip-hop's tolerance for athlete-rapper power couples dies. For 10 years, the industry sold as the rapper wifey plus NFL bag dream. Kira and Russell, Lauren London and Nippy before the tragedy, Megan and her ex. Every time it ends in tears, the next girl tries it anyway. Cardi was supposed to be the success story that revived the trope. Instead, she's becoming the cautionary tale that ends it. Diggs represent the OD god, the I can have a wife and 47 chef generation, and the culture is done with that math. The younger generation of female artists is watching this and quietly deciding to date richer civilians or stay single. Diggs just buried the genre's favorite love fantasy with one paycheck dispute. And that's the truth they won't tell you on Complex on TMZ or on People. This isn't gossip. This is the moment the whole athlete girlfriend economy gets audited in real time, and Cardi is the one paying the audit fee. So, what happens next? 3 scenarios and you'll need to bookmark this video because I'm calling it now. Scenario 1, the most likely outcome. Cardi quietly fades Diggs and pivots a brand. Mark my words, within the next 6 months, Cardi is going to release a single with lyrics that read like a divorce filing. That's how she handles pain. She eyes sit. Diggs is going to find himself doing free agent workouts for teams that won't return his calls. When the NFL preseason kicks off and there's no jersey for him, he's going to look desperate screaming into a podcast nobody asked for. The silence from Cardi will hurt him more than any diss track because the algorithm will literally stop caring he exists. He's a 32-year-old receiver coming off acquittal dropped by his team with 5 baby mamas in a media trail. The next franchise that signs him is doing it for cap relief, not glory. Diggs is going to spend 2026 watching his relevance evaporate while Cardi cashes another tour check. Scenario 2, the alternative path. Cardi stays, but on her terms and Ma Adams escalates. If Cardi stays, and let's be real, this woman has stayed through worse. Adams is not going away. She's going to keep dripping receipts. Wait till the next batch of text messages hits. Wait till she does her first sit-down interview with a major outlet. Wait till somebody offers her a book deal because somebody will. When that book lands, Diggs is going to get destroyed in a way the courtroom couldn't touch him. Civil court is coming next. Discovery is going to pull up every text, every cash-app receipt, every flight manifest. Diggs is not ready for a civil trial where the burden of proof is way lower than criminal. Mark my words. By next summer, this man is writing checks bigger than that alleged $100,000 offer just to make deposition stop. Cardi will publicly stand by him while privately moving her assets into accounts he can't touch. She's smarter than the headlines give her credit for. Scenario 3, the industry earthquake. This becomes a watershed moment for athlete-celebrity relationships. Looking at the bigger picture, this is going to be the case that changes contracts. 5 years from now, every NFL agent is going to make their client sign morality clauses with their live-in staff. 5 years from now, every rapper dating an athlete is going to require a background check household, an NDA package, and a forensic accountant before they move a toothbrush in. This is going to be the case business school professors teach about reputation collapse. Diggs is watching the culture move on without him. And the wildest part is he doesn't even know it yet. By the time he figures it out, the locker room clip that resurfaced last year will be the first line of his Wikipedia page. That "I'm a great guy" soundbite is going to haunt him until he's 70. His legacy is no longer Pro Bowl receiver. It's a case study. And Cardi, she walks away with a story arc that turns her into a Lifetime movie executive producer credit by 2030. Whatever happens, one thing's clear. Diggs already lost. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed uncovering the real story, smash that like button and hit subscribe so you never miss when we expose what everyone else is too scared to say. Ring that bell for notifications. And if you want more truth bombs like this, click on one of these videos next. Trust me, you'll want to see what we found.